YouTube, this is your boy Joey Phantom, El Fantasma, and today we have deck profiles. Yes, I finally completed all the decks that I wanted to show you guys. Black, yellow, purple, green, blue, and red, all 6 colors. I know a lot of people don't have the means to spend or the budget. These are more budget builds with the cards that I was able to get. But yes, I'm gonna be giving you tips if you wanna build a competitive deck. But I'm very excited because they're really fun. They're really fun decks, and this is what this channel is all about: entertaining and having fun, and just helping you guys, not just so you can build a competitive, but casual play too. So let's crack this open. Stay tuned, stay safe, wear your mask. Let's go. Alright guys, welcome back. Let's get started on our first deck profile. It's gonna be our yellow deck. And for starters, for our digitamas, we are playing 2 copies of Cupidman and 3 copies of Kotomon. For level 3s, we're playing 2 copies of Labramon. He could draw us 1, and 2 copies of Lilomon Vanilla 4K, 4 copies of Paramon, 3 copies of Pinkerman, and 3 copies of Tapiromon. Those are our level 3s or rookies. Now on to our champions, level 4s. We are playing 2 copies of Petermon, because on play you get to bring back one of your Tinkermon. We're playing 2. We're also playing 3 copies of Gatomon. This is a vanilla, 2 to evolve. It has a 5000 DP. 3 copies of Caesarman, because it's a 4000 DP, but it has jamming, so means you can swing with this and it won't die when it's checking your opponent's security. And to finish it off, we have 4 copies of Unimon, our level 4 blocker. Now on to our ultimate level 5 Digimons. 3 copies of Ceramon, 1 copy of Mistymon, and 1 copy of Angel Woman, because Angel Woman can recover 1 on play. 2 copies of Magna Angemon on the starter set, and 1 Magna Angemon from the booster pack BT1. On play it recovers 1. Now for our level 6, our Mega Digimon, 3 copies of Slash Angemon, because Slash, when you Digivolve into Slash, one of your opponent's Digimon gets minus 8000 DP. So equivalent to his DP is gonna decrease that amount, so you can kill a lot. And we're playing 2 copies of Magna Dramon. Is vanilla with a 12,000 DP. 1 single copy of Kentarusomon, and 2 copies of Seraphimon from the booster pack. With Digivolving, it recovers 1, and it also gains a security attack plus 1. For Tamers, we're only playing 2 TKs, because they allow you to check your security, add 1 yellow, and then recover 1. So it's good. Then we're gonna be playing 2 copies of Symphony number 1, which is minus 7000 DP on one of your opponent's Digimon. 7 heavens, because it's 1000 minus 1000 DP on one of your opponent's Digimon. So yellow is all about recovery and decreasing your opponent Digimon's DPs. And one of my favorites, Holy Flame, because it give one of your opponent's Digimon minus security attack minus 3, which can stop you from killing you that turn. And that is it for our yellow deck. Let me know what you think, guys. What can be done to improve it? I know I'm gonna be leaving you some tips on what to make it better, but this is what I have right now for my yellow deck. I think it's pretty fun. Our next deck, our green deck, our Digitamas. I'm playing one single copy of Tentaman. That's all I have, and 4 copies of Freeman. And now for our level 3s, 3 copies of Mushroomon and 3 copies of Kakuamon, because he his inheritable effect is that one of your Digimon gets a security attack +1, and security attack +1 is always good. 3 copies of Agumon and 2 copies of Tentomon. And that's it for our level 3. 3 copies of Kabuterimon and 3 copies of Digimon. But Digimon is so cheap to evolve, only one, and has 6000 DP. That's what we're playing, as well as Kabuterimon. It's only one to evolve and 5000 DP. And then we're gonna be playing 3 copies of Woodmon, level 4 blocker, and 2 copies of Tyrannomon, because it lets you reveal the 3 cards from the top of your deck and add 1 level 5 Digimon card and 1 green tamer. And that's it for our level 4s. I'm trying out this card. I might bump it up to 2, but I'm just gonna try it because Jagmon, when attacking, you reveal the 3 top of the 3 top cards of your deck, and you can evolve this card onto any level 6 among them without paying its cost. So you're playing a couple of level 6s, so attacking and be able to evolve on that turn without having to pay its cost is really good. I'm trying 1 copy of that, 2 copies of Tyrannomon, 2 copies of Cherrymon, 2 copies of Okawamon, because if you attack with, if you evolve something with this, and if attacks and he leaves, and you gain 1 memory, so it's good memory gainer. And finally 3 copies of Lilymon, and that rounds up our level 5, and we're going on to our level 6s. 2 copies of Titanman, because it's a vanilla, 2 to evolve, and 12,000 DP, and 2 copies of Rosemon, because you gotta love Rosemon. And then we're gonna be playing 1 single copy of Rusty Tyrannomon, and 2 copies of one of the greatest cards in green, Pokemon. It's up to you. You want to play 2, 3, or 4. I think I'm gonna try 2. I might bump it up to 3 because I have 3, but that's all I have. But right now I'm gonna try playing only 2, see how it does. And I'm playing 2 copies of Hercules Kabuterimon to finish off my level 6s. He has piercing, and twice per turn you can unsuspend this Digimon by decreasing your memory by 3 at the end of your attack. So, moving on to our tamers, we're playing 4 tamers. It's 2 easy, 1 Taiga and 1 Mimi. For our option cards, 2 Terror Clusters, because here Terror Cluster returns one of your opponent's suspended Digimon to the bottom of their deck, which can get rid of a lot of pesky Digimons. And then we have 3 copies of Flower Cannon. Flower Cannon is great to have it, especially on your security. And that's it for our green deck. I think it looks pretty good too. This green deck seems pretty fun. I'm gonna see if I can test it out with some of my friends. And now moving on to our black deck. I kinda like this black deck. I'm gonna start with the Digitamons. I'm playing 2 copies of Sumemon and 3 copies of Kabuterimon. And for our level 3s, 4 copies of Toigamon, because Toigamon gives your Digimons a reboot. Also, we're gonna be playing 4 copies of our level 3 blocker, Katsumon. Simple, it's a level 3, it's a blocker. You'll be blocking a lot with this deck, is what it does. 3 copies of Kiramon and 2 copies of Shumon, because Shumon stops your opponent from increasing their memory, except for tamer effects. So no securities, no Digimon gaining, only by tamer. So that's why I'm trying 2 copies of Shumon. And for our level 4s, again 4 copies of our level 4 blocker, Cardamon, 4 copies of Numemon, and 4 copies of Greymon, because Greymon is insane. If one of your Digimon has reboot, it gives him jamming. This is a terrible effect. This effect is good. And then for our level 5s, 4 copies of our Metal Greymon, because Metal Greymon gives you the inherent effect of, while this Digimon has a reboot, it also gains security attack plus 1. So imagine you have that and that, you get security attack plus 1 and jamming. 3 copies of Infermon, 2 copies of our level 5 blocker, Agamon, and our vanilla 9000 DP Mega Dramon. And for our level 6 Digimon, we have 2 copies of the Metal Monkey and 3 copies of Hydramon, which is 12,000 DP, only 2 to evolve. 3 copies of Diaboromon. For our tamers, 2 Thai, 2 copies of Atomic Ray, because Atomic Ray is good. It unsuspend one of your Digimons with blocker, and if it's check on the security check, it unsuspend all of your Digimon with blocker, and they get 5,000 DP for that turn, which is great. 1 looking back of good times and 1 infinity cannon, and that runs up our black deck. It is something cool that you can do with your black deck. Let's say you have your level 2, then you want to evolve him onto Toigamon. That will give your next Digimon reboot. You evolve Greymon, which now has reboot and jamming, but after that you can evolve this guy, which it has reboot, it has jamming, and it also has an extra 1000 DP. Or you can evolve Metal Greymon, which is gonna give your level 6s. You can evolve then onto, let's say, the Metal Monkey, and now you have an 11 power security attack +1 with jamming, and he cannot be blocked. Or you can evolve Hydramon, which is gonna give you a 3,000 security attack +1 and jamming dude on the field, which is gonna be really hard for your opponent to deal with. So that's a really cool, neat combo that you can do with your black deck. Now we're gonna move on to our next deck, our blue deck, and we're gonna start with 2 Upaman. Upaman is great, and 3 copies of Suruman from the starter deck, and those will be our Digi Tamas. Now for our level 3s, four copies of Gabumon, because on deletion it gives you a memory, so it's a memory gainer, which is good. 3 copies of Illickmon and 3 copies of Bearmon. That's our level 3s. Now we're going to our level 4s. I'm trying out 2 copies of Ikakumon, because Ikakumon is if the Digimon can be blocked by one of your opponent's Digimon without the evolution sources. Then we're going to play 4 copies of Gorillamon, because it's 1 to evolve and it's 6,000 DP. 4 copies of Grizzlymon, it's our level 4 blocker, and 2 copies of Leomon. I think you know the little trick with Leomon. If you evolve him with Gabumon and you swing with it and he dies, on deletion he gets 2 memory.
and he gave you another memory. So you're if you die, he potentially is gonna give you 3 memories on that turn, which is really great. 2 copies of digimon. And that's it for our level 4s. Now moving on to our level 5, we have 3 copies of Monsterman, 2 copies of your Leomon, 2 copies of Pseudomon from the starter deck, because when Digivolving you can trash 2 of your opponent's Digivolution cards from the bottom. And I'm trying out 1 Pseudomon, which on playing can add 2 cards from your deck. And finally 2 copies of Wergarurumon. Wergarurumon give you security attack +1. For our level 6 Digimons, we're playing 3 copies of Cyber Leomon. Cyber Leomon is great because when Digivolving, it trash 4 devolution cards under one of your opponent's Digimon. So getting rid of those sources could be really good. Then 2 copies of Pilsamon. 1 copy of Biopormon. And 2 copies of Metal Garurumon from the starter deck. Tamers, I'm playing 2 Tamers. I'm playing 1 Matt Ishida. On your turn, if you play a blue Digimon, you can suspend this card to trash one of your opponent's devolution cards from the bottom for the Digimon. And if Jokiro, when one of your opponent's Digivolution cards is trash, you can unsuspend it and gain 1 memory. 2 copies of Cactus Breath, and you gotta have it on the blue Hammer Spark. You get 1 memory for free, and getting memory for free is just amazing. And that's it for our blue deck. On to our next deck, a deck that I'm liking too very much, our purple deck. We're gonna start with 2 Yamon. Yamon is great, and 3 copies of Pagumon. And that's our Digitamas. Now for level 3, we have 2 copies of Impomon, 4 copies of the Pyromon, because on deletion you draw a card. 4 copies of Gabumon, because Gabumon also draws you 2 cards on deletion. So drawing cards is great. And 3 copies of Evil Pyroman, Sakimon, Tsukaimon, our last level 3. And level 4s, we're playing 4 copies of level 4 blocker, Bielmon. I might cut it down to 3. Because I might need to put another one of these. Digimon, because Digimon has retaliation, and retaliation means that if he dies, it taking whoever he fight with him. So getting rid of large Digimon is really good, and it gives you the Digimon that evolve on top of him retaliation as well. So it's really good. Two copies of Dravidamon, because it has the inheritable effect of gaining a memory on deletion, and 4 copies of Garurumon. Now for our level 5s, we're playing 2 copies of Punkemon. On deletion you draw 2, and 2 copies of my Orismon, 1 copy of Chimeramon, because on play you can delete one of your Digimon to delete one of your opponent's level 5 or lower Digimon. And to finish our level 5s, 3 copies of Garurumon. Moving on to our level 6. Two copies of Boltmon. This is 12,000 DP, and 3 copies of Bino Mayorismon. So he has security attack plus 1. 1 copy of Paimon, 1 copy of Bilsamon, and 2 copies of Metal Garurumon. And the fronts of our level 6. 2 copies of Matt Ichira, because Matt on play he can return one of your Digimon cards or one of your purple option cards from your trash area to your hand. So you can be recycling Paimon with this, or Bilsamon. 2 copies of Heat Viper, and 2 copies of Night Ray. I was debating on putting up 2 copies of Darkness Claw, because Darkness Claw is a great card too, because it only costs you 1, and one of your opponents, one of your Digimons get 3000 DP for that turn, and if they hit it on the security check, you gain 2 memory that could potentially end your opponent's turn. So it's up to you. You wanna try this? I'm gonna try this one first, and then probably I might switch it up. See how they work. They're both cards. They're great. It's just a matter of testing out, see what works and what not. And that's it for our purple. And going on to our last deck of the day. Our red deck, you guessed it right. We're gonna start with 2 copies of Yokomon and 3 copies of Horomon. is our digitamas. And for level 3, four copies of Agumon, 3 copies of Gilmon, 3 copies Modramon, and 2 copies of Biomon. Moving on to our level 4s. 4 copies of Dark Tyrannomon, 4 copies of Codromon, because he's our level 4 blocker, and 4 copies of Greymon, because Greymon has the ability to give your Digimon security attack +1. For our level 5, one of the best cards in red, Metal Tyrannomon. It's a level 5 with 10,000 DP. 2 copies of War Growlmon, and 3 copies of Metal Greymon, which give you the inheritable effect that if the Digimon gets blocked, you gain 3 memory. So you put your opponent on a spot of blocking you and giving you 3 extra memory, or not. You could play this guy, this other Metal Greymon, which is a memory power. It's up to you. I think not getting blocked or getting blocked and gaining memory is great too. You don't give any back, but it's up to preference. Do you want to try this or you want to try the other? I think either one will work great. It's a matter of preference, like I said, and testing them out, see what works for you and what doesn't work for you. Then we're playing 2 Volcanimon. This is great against Grindex, Rookie Rashaman, and also 2 Phoenixmon. 12,000 DP. So level 6s, we also playing 2 Regdramon, because he has piercing, and piercing is good. 1 War Greymon. This is a War Greymon from the starter deck, which will give you a security attack +1 for every 2 evolution sources it has, and also 1 copy of the other War Greymon from the booster set. This is the better version, I guess, because when you check securities, security option cards on securities that do not activate their effect. So that's great. 1 copy of Galactmon and 1 copy of my boy Omnimon, and that will complete the deck. And let's see for our 6 decks that we got today. Finally, we're able to complete them. Now for some fun testing, fun playing, and hope you guys like it. Comment any suggestions. Any suggestions are well taken. Any criticism, and stay tuned, guys. Thanks for watching, and let's see what can we do for now on. Waiting for the next release for the 1.5, and we'll see you soon. Take care.